going this way? Okay.
So reporting for Public Works Committee, I'd like to call the Public Works Committee meeting to order at 7:02. I've just one item of business that I want to mention. We are having a public hearing, which is scheduled for next Tuesday night, October 2nd, with regards to National Grid and Verizon to install a push race pole at the corner of First and Grove Streets, pole number 6555. And that's next Tuesday night, October 2nd. That's the only business I have this evening, just making that known to the public. Any comments? Great. Then I would like to call for an adjournment at 7:03.
Second?
Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:03. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Are we doing capital improvements city
Well,
development?
he's not here.
Well, we can, but Councilor Dolan has to do that in Councilor Conti's absence. So let's wait till she.
Sounds good. Reporting for, I called the zoning and land use committee to order at 7:03. On my committee, it's myself and Councilor Delicios. So only one order of business tonight from the docket of June 5th, 2018. I move to grant the special permit application for Canatech Medicinals, Inc. of Fall River to open a registered marijuana dispensary pursuant to section 17-9.0 special permits and section 17-10.15 registered marijuana dispensary uses at 220 O'Neill Boulevard, Attleboro.
Second.
So the public hearing for this was on Tuesday, June 19th. We had been holding this, waiting to hear back from the city planner after reviewing the full application and hearing back from each of the department heads. The city planner has been out for a couple days. We were supposed to hear back on Monday or Tuesday. He has heard back from all of the department heads, and I have a letter from his office stating that he's heard back from them all and that everything's in order, and he'll have something for us before next week, before the full council meeting. So with that guarantee, I'm comfortable voting this out of committee if you are as well.
I would actually, I'm not necessarily comfortable voting it out until we get all that information back from the city planner. This way here, if we get it Tuesday, say we get it Tuesday night, we're voting on it Tuesday night, I'd like some time to digest it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not up against the clock per se, correct?
I don't, so the public hearing was on June 19th. So I'm not sure how long we have.
When
from
did
the-
we close it?
Yeah.
I believe we closed it that night. I could follow up, but
I think, I'm, you could, if you wanted to vote it tonight, you could recess your committee because each of the items of the special permit need to be voted individually, I believe.
Right.
So you can't do it as one to grant the special permit. Each of the 6 or 7 items of the special permit have to be individually voted. So I would say, if you want to vote this, withdraw the second, table it, prepare those motions, because you're gonna have to do each one individually.
and is that even to vote it out of committee? I
believe
thought that
so,
was just in
yes.
front of the full council.
Yes.
Okay. Then if you want to withdraw the second, we can hold off on this for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you want to withdraw your second?
Yeah, I'll certainly withdraw the second. I just want to make sure, where this would be only our second one that we've had so far.
Understood.
Want to make sure that, so I think that's it's like Batman. But I think that'd be perfect.
All right, the second's withdrawn. But go ahead.
Thank you. Council Cobus, so can you call for, I know that they've been talking about financially, they've been paying and paying and paying and paying. Like, they're trying to at least figure out where we're going with this, and it's costing them a fortune. Whether we're gonna approve it or not approve it, let's just let them know yes or no. But can you call for a committee meeting before the regular meeting next week and take care of it all in one night? Because you'll have all the answers by then, because it's kind of been dragged out a very long time since the public hearing.
I'm happy to call for a committee meeting prior to the public, the full council meeting. I It will make a decision then, just because there may be a lot for us to digest. When I get the recommendation from the city planner's office, I'll be sure to distribute that. Also with me tonight, I have information that I'll hand out to everybody with regards to the ordinance, the zoning ordinance as it existed when they applied for their special permit, so before all of these recent changes. That's the ordinance we'll be going by when we review this. So I have printouts of that I'll distribute to everybody in their boxes, and that's what we'll need to review. The city planner has requested guidance from the solicitor, and they've confirmed that that's the way we need to proceed with this. Additionally, I've scribbled a note on the top of this to review the council meeting from October 24th. That's the council meeting where the city solicitor came in and explained to us exactly how to vote on these special permits and talked about reviewing each item one at a time. I was under the impression that that was only part of the full council meeting, but that's, I
feel like
I didn't watch the committee meeting prior, so you're probably right. That's easy enough. And so I'll distribute that, and I will email out guidance to everybody with a plan for moving forward. But the YouTube video to watch is the city council meeting dated 24 October 2017. Councilor Delissio.
I'm certainly sensitive of Councilor Jackson's point, and I think it's something we need to be cognizant of, but especially now that you're saying that, okay, well, now we have to go back to what the ordinance was in June, which makes sense. I would see if there's time to potentially do it, because I would suggest that, respectfully ask for the city solicitor as well as the city planner to be present. This way here, we can make sure, and, well,
I don't know that that's required because
this is more complex than what a regular special permit, and we have very specific parameters when approving it.
it's the same as the last, when we did
I
BCBW.
fully understand that, but there's 3 councils here that weren't here the last time, and again, it's very specific language, very specific process. I would rather ensure that we're getting it right the first time than doing it and then maybe potentially having come back. And that's by
Yeah,
no
of
stretch
course.
of the imagination is that a lack of confidence in your ability to lead this. We've seen what you're able to do. I just think where this is only the second special permit that we've had, I'd rather err on the side of caution.
Noted.
Thank you.
President Cooper?
So I don't necessarily agree. I think that we can go back and review that meeting from 10/24 if there's any questions. She was very clear. Again, we're voting on I want to say it's 6, might be 7, might be 8. I know that one of them doesn't apply to, I remember off the top of my head. I think that we can, if you do have the desire for a committee meeting prior to, make sure that you talk to the clerk so that can get duly posted, because Virginia is not here to post that. If you need that
Okay.
meeting posted between now and the 2nd, you need to get Steve to do that. But I think the special permit didn't change
Correct.
as part of the ordinance, so I'm okay with proceeding and watching it. I'll go back and rewatch it again myself, but I think it's important for us those that weren't here, to go back and watch that, so you fully understand what we're voting on, what a potential no vote means, and if it weren't to pass, what we would be required to do, which, if you feel that way, you feel that way, but I'm just saying we should just make sure that we review that and be prepared to do it on the 2nd if you choose to do it prior to your meeting, or wait, that's up to you, but I don't think we need to
Okay.
go through that again.
In the items that President Cooper is talking about is from section 17-9. 17-9.4 is the standards for granting a special permit. And there are 6 specific criteria that we need to vote on. The 6th one doesn't apply to us, where it's regarding scientific testing, whatnot. So I have copies of all that I'll make copies and distribute in everybody's boxes tonight before I leave. And then we'll call for a special committee meeting at 6:45 next week, next Tuesday. And I will reach out to the clerk to ensure that's advertised. Any concerns with that? Questions? I'm not,
concerns are
I'm not,
noted.
I'm not saying we're going to move
I
forward, but
understand.
if we're comfortable, we
100%
will. And
understand.
that's, we'll have a vote whether or not to vote it out yet. So that concludes my business, but I did want to mention one other thing. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but there was a CCC meeting last week where they voted on and approved the provisional recreational marijuana licenses for BCBW. And these are the first ones from Attleboro to be provisionally approved. There's still a lot more work, and I haven't seen a special permit application, a recreational application from them yet. But just to keep you aware of what's happening at the state, these are the first ones, recreational ones approved for the city. So that concludes my business for the Zoning and Land Use Committee. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned at 7:13.
I call Transportation and Traffic Committee to order at 7:13. I have one motion and then a couple little bits and pieces for discussion. From the supplemental docket of September 4th, 2018, I entertain a motion to hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 16th, 2018, relative to amending Section 10-4.151 of the revised ordinances by deleting Tiffany Street from South Avenue to County Street and replace it with Tiffany Street from Commerce Way to County Street. Thank you, Sarah. So, in the summertime, we did receive a communication, we have all the backup documentation, that the state has come down, and when we redid the Tiffany Street intersection and Tiffany Street down, going towards Commerce Way, that section of the road was widened and to accommodate truck traffic and that was part of the plan for an extensive period of time when they were constructing Commerce Way, thinking that there would be not just a sports village there, but a variety of other potential businesses. Historically, Tiffany Street from County all the way over to 123 has been no-through trucking because of that section. When you go down Tiffany Street and take the veer to the left to go up Commerce Way, the other section is a really curvy area of road. That section of Tiffany Street would remain no-through trucking, and you would be required to go up over Commerce Way. The state has come in, because currently there is no through trucking on Commerce Way, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There has been some, concerns by the residents in that section of the neighborhood of Tiffany Street that they don't want it changed. Unfortunately, at this point, the state has come in and they're the ones who delegate whether or not there's through trucking or no through trucking. We just have to change our ordinance to reflect that, so that is what they would like to do. So that's why we're calling this public hearing. I expect a member of the administration, Mike Tyler, because we had backup documentation from Mike Tyler because he was in communication with the state with regards to that, and potentially someone from the state to come down and also explain why this will be happening. Okay, any questions? I move for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. And motion passes. Thank you. I would just, we don't often have this opportunity, but President Cooper, I would like, for the next time that you meet with the administration, if it's possible for you to get an update with regards to the solar lighted sign for Lower County Street. That is a measure that we very much, this municipal council has talked about it for years, you specifically, Mr. Conti specifically. I know that there was a quote that was garnered for that particular sign from the DPW, and it has been sent to the administration. If you could perhaps provide us with an update at some point on when we will get an appropriation for that, I would appreciate it. Another polite reminder that we did have our public hearing. I just want to, for the public to hear this and set appropriate expectations, we did have our public hearing last week for Beagle Club Road. That public hearing is still open, so we're still accepting, any of us can still accept comment with regards to that. I do not have a Traffic Study Commission meeting until October 6th, which is beyond the 2 weeks that some people have the expectation that we would close it. Even if we did close the public hearing on the 2nd, I wouldn't be voting anything out at that time anyway. It would have to go back to committee. So just to set appropriate expectations for the public and for us here, it is going to take a little bit of time for us to kind of manage that. We'll do it in as expedient, as quickly as we possibly can, but there is a procedure for that. President Cooper.
Thank you. So, the mayor did send all of us an email about some proposed changes, which Heather can get into with the
Your committee.
committee and when it's appropriate. But one thing that I missed in this was that there was another communication in terms of waiving the fees, which will have nothing to do with that, which Council Holmes will, when it's appropriate, call for that public hearing to have for the city to waive the fees for, and it will be very specific to only waiving the fees. So that was my bad. We should have advertised both of them, and because we didn't, we have to advertise that second piece, which is only about the fee relative to the parking lot.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns about that? You'd like to?
Can I ask you a question? Please.
Be my guest.
Thank you. So, last week with the public hearing, it just was driving me crazy because I felt so bad for all the people on Beagle Club Road that, they're gonna have to find all these little placards to put in there for their guests, and it really was bothering me about the Meyer family in particular, just because I know how big the family is, and they have all daughters, and daughters have lots of friends that they bring over, which we all know. But anyways, and then the mayor said something, how he had been at the state level for 5 years, which I had forgotten that he had been there for that amount of time. And in that amount of time, when you're a state official, you form a lot of relationships. And at the state level, everything is kind of like, hey, I know you, Todd. You need this for your city because you live in Acton, and I live in Attleboro, so this is what I need. And they switch off, and they make all these connections. Do you know, Councilor Parika, has anyone throughout all this time, and looking at a parking lot, has anyone ever spoken to anybody at the state level to see if we could get a parking lot off of 295, and the state takes care of the whole thing, and I mean through connections, through all of our state reps and all of our state senators, and they're the ones who actually maintain it, and it takes the burden off of the police in Attleboro, and it takes the burden off of all those neighborhoods, and has that ever taken place? Does anybody, and even if a little welcome sign is out on 295, like welcome to Attleboro, our beautiful city, like to me that just seems like the ideal thing, but I don't know.
I'm grateful that you asked that question, Counselor. I've had multiple discussions with our state delegation over the course of the last 4 years. I specifically remember Mr. Delisio and I at one of the Soup for Heat events, cornering Richard Ross, Betty Poirier, and
It might have been Jim.
Jim, and asking them, like, we really need assistance here. This was probably, I would say, at least 2 years ago, that we said we really need some assistance with regards to this. And I did speak to the former state rep with regards to this multiple times as well. I've spoken to our current state rep about it, because ultimately that is a solution that I would have liked to have seen as well. Anytime, and perhaps Mr. Delisio could expand on it as well, but the response that we always got was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And then, so then we follow it up with emails and things like that, and it didn't go anywhere specifically.
So can I just make a suggestion?
Please.
Before we close this public hearing and before we decide to give this neighborhood the parking lot, which I mean, the parking lot looks nice and things, but I just still am concerned about this whole placard
I don't disagree.
baloney. Let's ask our state delegation to a special meeting here at City Hall, and let's put the cards on the table, because, we need a little help here. And it's right off 295, and how beautiful would that be? Like, honestly and truly, if you think about it, you have thought about it, but yes, it's just a suggestion.
No,
but before we close the public hearing, let's see what they have to say. They have all these connections, and someone has to,
I have to.
step up to the plate and come down to our little city of Attleboro and, help us out.
I think that's a great idea. I'm happy. Farmers market every Saturday. We have Paul Feeney comes through, Jim Hawkins comes through, all of the people come through on a regular basis. I'm happy to have a conversation with them and work a way to have a meeting here with regards to that.
Even just like an email to, professionally from the council.
course.
To say, hey, we want to have a meeting with all of you. Let's make it work. I mean, I don't know if that's something you would be up for, but just maybe.
Listen,
It may
it is
resolve
perfect. How do you eat
everything.
an elephant? And
Yeah.
this is an elephant. Like
Yeah.
Beagle Club Road has been an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I'm more than happy to work on something else, speak with President Cooper about that, and we'll get something together for that. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Blair.
Heather, just a quick comment. We know how slow things go, Kate, through the state, federal. What's wrong with putting a parking lot in and look and see if we can get a rest area, which I don't think they're gonna do because they're closing them left and right. They don't want them, they're trouble. They're aggravation for the state police also. But if we were lucky enough to get them, close the parking lot. And another suggestion was made to me by a constituent, is similar to a condo association. Have somebody in charge on that street of these placards, or whatever you call them, so they can put on their windshield. If number 3, Beagle Club Road is having a party, it goes to the gentleman in charge, say, I'm having a party, I need 25 tickets. It would eliminate the people on Beagle Club Road having to run to City Hall. I think they do similar things in a condo complex, where there's a board, condo board. We've listened to Beagle Club Road a long time. I think it's down to get off the pot. You've got it there. We've got some rules. I think you worked hard at it, Heather. I can't see postponing a vote on Beagle Club Road to try to get the state or feds involved in it at this point.
Okay.
No harm in trying, but you're not going to get it done soon enough.
Sure. I think we have, if I may, so we have some time available to us, depending, I will absolutely have conversations with the state delegation, send them an email. Both things can happen congruently. It wouldn't hurt. I mean, one of the things that I struggle with a bit is the reason why we're locked in at 8 parking spots or 7 regular, 1 handicap is that we didn't have to put in a water management system and all of the extra bells and whistles that would go into increasing the cost for that. I don't necessarily think that 8 parking spots is going to be enough. So I think working on both, at the same time, I think that's a responsible and reasonable thing for this council to do. Mr. Delicio.
Just a comment, I think you summed up beautifully what we've talked about 2 years ago, but Councilor Blair, if I may.
Please.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, as Wayne Gretzky said. So I think we approach it from both avenues, and if they say no, they say no. If nothing comes of it, at least we know we vetted it the best we could, using all
They
of
say
our
it sounds
resources.
great, then bring them to the table.
Right, with their checkbook,
State's checkbook.
Yeah.
of course.
I just remember, I don't mean to belabor the conversation, but I remember it so vividly. Like, I was literally sweating from, like, standing over the soup pots, and I was like, we really need your help with this. Like, there hasn't been an avenue that we haven't tried to go down to try and remedy this circumstance. And I think, President Cooper, we've all had these conversations about how do we make this something that's acceptable and reasonable for the rest of the community without having to take the drastic measures that we've been taking, and that was one of them. And so I look, again, I've spoken to everybody under the sun with regards to this, but I'm happy to go back at it, happy to do it.
Thank you. That, just so they don't
Doing
forget
your
about
job.
Attleboro.
Right, that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's all I've been hearing is that the state's going to forget about us.
Yes, we can't have that. Any other comments? Alrighty, so again, I just want to set expectations appropriately. I won't be getting a response from the Traffic Study Commission until after our meeting next week. We'll have some time in between there before we close the public hearing, and then it'll go to committee to start working on that. Any of the changes, the small devil in the details that we may have to make adjustments to.
Thank you.
No problem. Let's see. That's all the business for traffic and transportation. I call for an adjournment at 7:27. Sarah,
Second.
second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
I'd like to call Budget and Appropriations order at 7:27. I have three quick matters to discuss. From the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to authorize the Park and Forestry Department to pay a previous year bill totaling $148.70 to MWI Animal Health.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. My comments for all three motions are going to be the same. Essentially, what we're looking at is invoices came in July for work that was done anywhere as early as March. That's for the Park and Forestry, that's for the schools as well. I have invoices for the schools if anyone wants to take a look at those, but it's pretty common practice. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to authorize the Park and Forestry Department to pay one previous year bill in the amount of $793.68 to Education Development Corporation.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. I have no further comment. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Finally, I entertain a motion to approve the request, from the docket of October 2nd, 2018. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to authorize the school department to pay the previous year's school bills totaling $3,864.52 as identified in Mr. Furtado's communication from the meeting of September 18th, 2018.
Second.
Thank you. The one thing I should have added, and I didn't, is we're not looking to transfer money. With all three of these motions, it's simply authorizing to pay bills, obligations that are already outstanding. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:29.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call capital improvements and city development to order at 7:29. Oh, who do I have? Where is everybody? I need somebody. Where's Mark? Oh.
I'm coming. I'm right here. I heard you. I heard you.
I need anybody, I'm alone.
I'm like, hold on.
So I just called capital improvements and city development committee to order at 7:29. I have one motion from the docket of October 2nd, 2018. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $18,200 from account 112-41000-578-300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 142-01-000-530101 Public Works Professional Services regarding the need for funds to have state mandated inspections done at Farmers Pond Dam, Simmons Pond Dam, and Mechanics Dam.
Second.
I really don't have any comments. I wasn't really prepared to. I didn't know Rick was not going to be here this evening, but we all, I mean, most of us took the tours of the dams, and apparently it's state mandated. All those in favor?
Any questions?
Oh, any questions? I'm sorry.
I won't ask any questions. However, I'm sure that, next week during our full council discussion, if anyone has any questions, I'm sure that Richard would probably be able to elaborate, but I appreciate you moving it along.
Yes.
They need to get those things done.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's all the business I have for capital improvements and city development. I move to adjourn at 7:31. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now I have mine. Reporting for License Committee, I call to order at 7:31. I have one item from the docket of October 2nd, 2018. I entertain a motion to approve the request from the American Legion Post 312 of South Attleboro to hold their annual puppy drive on November 3rd, 2018 at various facilities in South Attleboro.
Second?
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Just go out and support the Poppy Drive.
Absolutely. That's all the business I have for
You have
license.
to vote.
Oh, sorry. It's not my day today. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I move to adjourn the licenses committee at 7:32.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That's all the business I have for licenses committee.
I'd like to call the City Property and Claims Committee to order at 7:32. Members of my committee are myself, Councilor Blair and Councilor Holmes, and I have 3 motions on the docket this evening. From the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to accept the donation of $1,000 on Stop and Shop gift certificates from the Attleboro Elks Lodge, number 1014, to the Veterans Services Department.
Second.
Thank you. All those, any questions, concerns, comments?
Just thank the Elks for the generous donation. Yeah.
Oh, they're marvelous, aren't they? Yeah.
It seems a month or so doesn't go by, then there's
There's some
another
kind-
one
Yeah.
up in front of you for donations.
It's constant, they're really,
for the
they're
vets.
great
So
to the
They
vets.
have a good organization down there. And that particular committee is run by Scott Mercier.
He came in here he's been in
Yeah,
here a few times.
he does a great job with
Yeah.
it. Great job.
Thank you, Council Blair. Any other concerns, questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All those against? None. That motion passes. From the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor in accordance with Section 1-12, the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, to accept the donation of a laptop, scanner, and hard drive from an anonymous donor with an estimated value of $800 to the Historical Commission.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but are there any questions, concerns, comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. From the docket of September 4th, 2018, I entertain a motion to declare the following fire department equipment as surplus and available for disposition: a homemade trailer, license plate,
Sure.
what do they call that? Pound Fire A166, approximately 40 years old.
Second.
Thank you. Any concerns?
These days, Counselor Reynolds, we call that a hashtag.
I know, a hashtag. I know, I still know it is pound, and I was trying to think a hashtag, but it wouldn't come to me, so, okay. Either way, it's Fire A66, and it's 40 years old. Are there any concerns? No, okay. So I think that's self-explanatory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. And that is all the business I have this evening. I'd like to, a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, and I will adjourn at
7:35.
35. Thank you, at 7:35, and we are adjourned.
Thank you. I call the Personnel and Human Service Committee to order at, let's do 7:36. Committee members are myself, Counselor Reynolds, and Counselor Blair. I have 2 motions. On the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $27,640 from account 112410005783300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 121010005300100 police uniform cleaning regarding the need for funds to cover the costs associated with the City of Attleboro and the Police Association MCOP Local 352 AFL-CIO Memorandum of Agreement for the contract period of 2017 to 2020.
Second.
Thank you. I had mentioned this last week. This is part of the contract. They will have 2 uniforms a week cleaned, so I had mentioned that there would probably be a transfer happening, so that's all that's related to. Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $12,432.32 from account 112410005783300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 151010005155075 health earned time regarding the need for funds due to the anticipated retirement of an employee by the end of September. pretty self-explanatory, somebody's retiring, so it's just a transfer for those funds. Any other comments or questions? Oh, go ahead.
So this is a health, I won't name names, but it's important. I work with this particular individual on a regular basis, and she's obviously, you know, if you read the backup documentation, she's been with the city for a really long time, and she does a super great job. And I will miss her very much. She does a lot of work for me with permitting and things like that. And I was slightly devastated when I found out she was retiring, and I wish her the best of luck. Thank you.
That's, yes, 21 years, you're right. So, thank you for saying that. Anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I have just two other quick things to mention. One of them is the Highland Country Club. The public hearings are going well. There's one more occurring October 20th, which is a Saturday at 10 a.m. So individuals should feel free to come in and let the committee know if they have any thoughts or ideas about what should happen with Highland Country Club. The other thing that is going to be before us in the near future is the city solicitor, as we know, is not going to be with us as of mid-October. I think I want to say it's October 12th is going to be her last day. So there's going to be some discussions, and I know that I for one, want to make sure that we move in the right direction. And so I just hope that we can all have a similar goal and try to make a smooth transition, but at the same time, really make sure that we're finding the right competent individuals to help us, basically. So I'll leave it at that.
Just a follow-up question. I'm not, I think we all want to go in the same direction. I'm not 100% clear on what you're meaning. And I guess my question would be, would you be asking the administration by chance for an independent solicitor for the municipal council at that time? Or in your discussions with him, would that be something that might be brought up?
I think that now that this has happened, everything should be on the table, including possibly the council having their own. I'm not sure what this could potentially mean for us, but I think we should really think of it as an open-ended. Does the council need to have? Well, okay, go ahead.
No, if she could finish that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I basically am open to hearing, and I just want to be clear that I do want a smooth transition, but at the same time, I don't want to get into a situation with appointments that have happened in the past, and want to make sure that I'm stating that I think that this could be an issue where we're there. Yeah, that's it.
Didn't want to say it.
That, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Go ahead. So, my committee.
who's next.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just fall in line with what Councilor Pariga said, and I think we should make a decision, quite frankly, whether we're going to go out of the city and hire a personal firm, or if we're going to go back into in-house with an attorney in-house, like I think John Lee was at one time.
And Mangiarotti.
Mangiarotti was. So I think we have to think about that, but I also think it's very evident after some of the things that have happened recently that we need to consider whether this, or not consider, but we know the city council needs an attorney that we can go to for a separate opinion based on what we're saying, because it's totally different sometimes than what the administration is looking to do. So those are things that I think this is the time that we need to bring it forward. We really need to discuss it. It doesn't mean we're going to get what we think is needed here, but definitely this is the time, I believe, that those three discussions need to happen, clearly happen.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me,
That's all I
Counselor
have to
Holmes.
say.
I think we should end this conversation now before, because I think it's got to go through you and the administration, the council president, before we have any more discussions about what's about to happen. And then take it from there once you've talked with the three of you, because I think we're kind of getting out of line a little bit. I mean, yeah. Good.
I think the only thing I'll add, I agree we should, the comments were fine, but I think we should, the mayor is planning to send down, as you know, Lauren's last day is 2 weeks. He is planning to send down a temporary appointment to fill the gaps with the existing firm. But I think, as Counselor Holmes suggested there may be an opportunity to think about what we do, but we don't have anything before us to talk about that right now, so we should end the conversation, but all be assured that, and the
Yeah.
community be assured that we are going to get, before her resignation is effective, a replacement. I did meet her very briefly today, and I'll have a follow-up meeting with her prior to the appointment coming down.
Thank you. Okay.
One last comment, would it, just so we're not all submitting the same new business, would you be open to writing that new business so that we can continue this conversation?
Yes, so what would happen is a 30-day appointment, which I do not, it would probably be coming, so it's gonna be before us in the near future. So I was just saying,
The new business about
having our own.
having our own.
I think that that's something that I'm certainly open to doing,
Okay,
yes.
so we don't,
Yeah.
all of us write the same thing and.
But I know the conversation did get a little bit deep quickly, and I was trying to avoid that, but I basically was just trying to plant the seed that these conversations are gonna be happening. So if you're thinking of something that you would like to see, certainly be thinking about it in the next couple of weeks about bringing it, because it's gonna be before us, is kind of what I was trying to get at.
Where it is of a sensitive nature, is it something that we could have an executive session on, or have a conversation? I just don't, to have a conversation with the administration with regards to that.
Yeah, I think we're going way deeper than we need to at the moment. I don't think it's one of the exceptions for, off the top of my head, I'd have to look, which would delay us even more on whether or not we could have executive session. It's very clear on what we can and can't have it on, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Like I said, I think there's gonna be lots of opportunity for discussion, but this isn't where we should be doing it tonight. We should get the temporary, and then if someone wants to submit new business to discuss the options, that's what we're here for. But I think we all received it, but it hasn't come before the council yet to be assigned to committee, because we got it last Tuesday. And I don't think that came down in time, so that'll come out next week. It's public, it's been in the newspaper, but formally before the council to be assigned to a committee, which at that time we can really have a formal, robust discussion about what next steps should be.
Okay, thank you. So I will call for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. For adjourned at 7:45. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you. I am reporting quickly on ordinance elections and legislative matters committee as well. It's myself and Counselor Jackson. I have only one motion. From the docket of October 2nd so call to order at 7:45, and, sorry about that. From the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $2,600 from account 112410005783000 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 116210000524270 election maintenance contracts regarding the need for funds to cover the cost of a 12-month maintenance agreement for the extended warranty on the voting tabulators purchased in 2016.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Let's see here. President Cooper mentioned that there will be a call for a public hearing, but I'm gonna hold off on that because we're not sure yet if, we wanna just make sure that it's written up correctly, but that would again just be for, it is related to Beagle Club Road, but not necessarily, it's more about the permitting process, so, it's just kind of more, yeah, the fees for permitting, so, that's all the business I have tonight, and I will call for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:47. Thank you.
Then the special committee on the council rules and procedures is canceled for tonight.
Great. We're done.
That's it.
It's a wow, way better than last week.
You think?